Welcome to Taste of Abbey. I'm Aaron Pete from Chawathal First Nation, and I host the Bigger Than Me podcast. In this series, we'll explore Canada's largest farming community, connect you with local farmers, creators, and restaurant owners. We'll dive into how they harvest from the land, strive towards sustainability, and strengthen the social fabric of our region. Join me as we deepen our connection to these lands and explore the taste of Abbey. It is an honor to be with you today. I'm so excited to get into this. Would you mind first just introducing your background and perhaps how you got started with this business and the fruit stand?
Yes, thank you for coming and bringing your team. Awesome. So my journey started in 1985, October 19, my university, wedding university coming soon.
Yeah.
And it's been a pleasure to be in Fraser Valley. My journey is now I'm Canadian.
Yeah.
More than I spent more years in Canada than in India.
Did you have this vision when you started? Like looking at how far you've come, it's probably remarkable. But did you have this path envisioned when you had started out?
To be honest, no vision. I just came with open hands, embracing the love that our community offers and my family supported. So no, I had nothing in vision when I landed into Canada.
Amazing. And it sounds like today we're going to be doing some cooking. Would you mind telling us about that?
Right. So my culture, cooking is a very big part of feeding people. It's part of hospitality. Whenever you go to any Indian, Punjabi people especially, they feed you. They give you the food more than the specialized food when you are there. So, and today I am showing you how to make butter chicken.
Oh, fantastic.
Yeah.
So would you mind telling me how you got started? Did you develop this recipe years ago?
Yes, we did. In fact, when we opened the Maan farm, so we were doing more Western food, but then I learned, no, we need to offer our ethnic food, which is, we are proud we made the switch.
Right.
And in our menu every day, the butter chicken is one part of it with the samosas and other curries.
Fantastic. Tell me about how we get started here.
Right. So we got all the ingredients here. Then, obviously the base is always onions, lots of, I would say, ginger and garlic.
Okay.
And then that's the kind of start. When I was growing up back home, we never had any cookbooks where I came from, Aaron. And I just learned seeing my sisters in the kitchen or my mom cooking. So standing or sitting next to the pot, observing. That's how our schooling of any recipes. Most of still back home, all the cooking still happens freehand.
Right.
And this is what I'm doing today.
So how do you think about it, I guess? Because I always rely on recipes. How do you make sure that it's going to taste good?
Usually when you're cooking for your family, you know how many members you have and how much food you need. And then, so after, in my age, you get a pretty good idea of how much you need.
Okay.
Yeah, so I'm adding onions, yeah.
And how do you determine what flavor you want to stand out at the end of the recipe?
Again, depends. The cooking happens, one is more like curry style or one vegetables are more like dry. Okay. So they're same or similar, but the different forms of spices are determined and how you cook them. So any vegetable I'm cooking, then there's no water goes in them. It's just the base is always the same, ginger, garlic, and onions with the spices like salt and pepper and turmeric is the main three.
Okay.
And then there is a garam masala or coriander is also part of it.
I find that cooks often have like a preference, like one that's their favorite. Do you have a preferred seasoning or flavor?
It's just the same spices makes how do you cook it and what are you cooking it makes a different flavoring.
Okay.
And how do you garnish it? Everything is part of the full recipe. Yeah.
Right. And do you have a particular feedback that you really like to hear? You have so many different varieties of hot sauces and types of food. Do you have one that really stands out that you love the feedback on?
Yeah, so since we have been doing for so many years, people definitely want to try, but then they're scared of the hot spices.
Right.
Obviously, we come up front to break that barrier to
Yeah.
tell them there's no spices. There is spices, but they're good spices.
Okay.
As for the hot spice level,
Wow.
they're very milder,
Okay.
and especially with the butter chicken, we'll be adding cream or the milk at the end,
Right.
so that breaks brings the more like sweetness into the recipe.
Okay, interesting. Yeah, because I get all nervous about spices too.
Yes, I know. If you put too much of one thing or even too much of salt, that doesn't taste good.
Right.
I know where you're coming from. Yeah.
Right. And so the fruit stand, when that started out, did you have a vision that it would eventually turn into this? What was that process to start that business?
When I came in Canada, so after I think within a year, my daughter born,
Right.
and then I was kind of the mom, stay-home mom, but then always on the back end, I wanted to support my husband,
Yeah.
and then back when I joined the family, they already had a fruit stand. Whatever they grow on the farm, selling just for 4 or 5 weeks. Back then, we were just growing strawberries,
Right.
and then we shut our doors. And then I kept kind of like how somehow I managed to help them. And then when the children were growing, they became part of that fruit stand as well. They were supporting mom and dad and grandpa and grandma as well. Yeah.
Have you seen that growth? Obviously, shopping local has become more and more of a priority, and it's more and
Right.
more of a topic. Did you see that back then, or has it changed?
Definitely, it was overwhelming to when the community was coming to year after year. Like I still remember memories of my customers. Like they come, buy the product, then they disappear, and every year, then the next year they come back.
Yeah.
I always wonder where they get disappear. Kind of like for my thought process.
Yeah.
But overall, like I never had idea how that can become like
Right.
so I learned from Canadian community to yes, there's a need for to serve the local community, like first hand grower to the consumer.
Right.
That I learned with my journey.
One piece that I find really beautiful is that it's a family-owned business. During those early days, did you work to instill that family-owned business into it? Did you teach that to your children? How did that kind of come about?
I think it just fall into place by itself.
Right.
We never planned it.
Right.
So we were raising kids like any typical mom and dad. Dad works out of the home. My husband did even 3 jobs. Like he had a permanent job. He was doing the farming, raising the family, and he has his business as well.
Right.
And then I was like he was a role model for our family to.
Right.
How hard he was working, and then to me be by himself, by on his side was kind of like a so like our children also grew up seeing dad how hard he was working.
Right.
And then when they were growing up on the farm, it gave them firsthand training, like even though they were not interested to be farmers.
Yeah.
But then over the years it built the interest how ideas. When I remember when we built it, our first kind of like when we brought some farm animals, it was for our children. It was saying why are we doing different than any of their friends' parents are doing. Kind of like all immigration.
Right.
Granted, all immigrant parents here of my children's friends. They were not doing the same thing what we were doing.
Yeah.
So we were almost coming out of the box, like trying to build a facility where people can come and stop. They buy the food, but then they can interact with our farm animals.
Right.
So it was not making sense. But then over the years, when they finished their degrees and that journey, it just progress happened into their minds. Yeah.
So was that always a dream, to have a space that people could kind of gather, enjoy a meal, learn, kind of develop themselves? Was that something you saw during those fruit stand days, or when did that idea come about?
whenever I guess we were used to all our life. Mostly we have been into this road name is Mackenzie Road,
Yeah.
and we did move for almost 30 years on to another like a neighborhood.
Right.
But then our heart was here, and then when we left this road, and then it was always a dream to come back and stay into this same neighborhood, and then that brought us to like buy a property into that same neighborhood where the location makes more sense.
Right.
So where we were standing, we acquired this land in 2005, and then with that dream to go back into more agritourism came along. Yes.
Yeah. Okay, fantastic. So what would be our next step to bring this to fruition?
Okay, so our they're more like I was waiting for our onions and garlic and ginger to be sauté, and now they are on to the next level.
Okay.
And then we are adding some spices.
Okay.
I know there are measuring spoons. I am used to of my teaspoon.
Right.
So I'm cooking here, I would have 4 to 5 people. So the taste of the spices could be up to your level. So I'm just putting, I know some peppers are very hot than others. So I know they are very hot. So I'm using a little bit, half a teaspoon of, and then turmeric is good for your joints and for color.
Oh, wow.
I'm putting lots of coriander to build the curries. And then this is a garam masala. I'm just adding a little bit, less than a teaspoon. So I'm roasting the spices into the oil and all the base.
Right.
And then we'll be adding we can add fresh tomatoes, or I will be adding more like tomato paste and tomato sauce.
Okay. How important is color when you're making food?
To me, when I learned the cooking, it is very important.
Okay.
So, especially when you're having almost like a feast or party, having the food. When I'm planning the food, I don't want all the food should be yellow with turmeric. I want a green. It could be. I could be serving spinach with the paneer. It could be a little bit infused with more like tomatoes. It could be on red side, or it could be green vegetables.
Right, bright and colorful.
Yes, bright and colorful. That's our culture too. So make sure there's many different colors in the food as well.
Interesting. What advice would you have for people starting out like myself that aren't that good at cooking? How do I improve over time?
I would say just don't get afraid. First thing, don't get afraid. Base is 3 things: oil, garlic, ginger, and onions, and then spices. If they have any questions, they can come and talk to me.
Right.
And those are the main basics, like any curries or any dry vegetables. Yes. So I think our spices are roasted. So this is the paste. I'm just adding a kind of a tablespoon of paste, and I'll add, I would say, 4 tablespoons of the sauce, tomato. You can smell that.
That smells really good. Yeah.
Okay.
So my other question for you is, obviously, when you're young, you might not see your vision for where you want to go, but you've watched your children develop, and they've all taken on different roles and kind of found their true potential. Did that surprise you, how involved they've gotten, or the roles that they've taken on?
I think at the back end, as a parent, especially my husband, he kind of did vision them to be involved in our farming, like being a farmer, keeping the land and keep passing on to the generation. It's very, very, I would say it takes time to think about your planning, and not always you're successful that happens. Like as a parents, you wish
Yeah.
that your journey you started, it passes on to your kids and
Right.
they continue with it.
Yeah.
I think luckily we did a good job.
Yeah.
Somehow they kind of like the idea, they grasped to them, and they are now their own bosses,
Yeah.
kind of like that.
Yeah, yeah.
So if I even talk about a kid like Amir, like he doesn't want to work for somebody.
Yeah.
He has a freedom, or any child, like they have freedom to when to work,
Yeah.
what to work on, and it just they love this life.
Yeah. Within my First Nations culture, we have this idea of 7 generations where we're
Okay.
supposed to think into the future. And what
Okay.
I love is like that feels like it's something that's sort of gotten lost with people, that you pass something on to your kids and then they take it on. Like you used to have a blacksmith who would teach their kid how to be a blacksmith, then they'd kind of pass that on and it'd be a family trade.
Right.
And it feels like this reminds us of that value of like
Aw.
passing that on in a good way, but also that they kind of take it and then they run with it in their own direction, because now you have like a haunted house and you have a haunted maze, and like did you ever imagine seeing that? Because they're taking these ideas and kind of pulling out new ways of going about things.
No, I think our family always now believe in, like as they're growing up, they believe in sky's the limit. Like that's my children say.
Yeah.
And then look at this Gurleen, what she turned into. Like you had to put yourself into the situation, and then us as a family, we love challenges. It's not easy what we do at the back end. We
100%.
suffer so many challenges.
Yeah.
And bringing our children in our pace, in our shoes, to see and take the business to the next level. It was not easy.
Yeah.
I was still talking. I was just even today. I was talking to another group and saying.
Right.
Even Gaurav was saying, I don't want to do farming.
Yeah.
And then it was definitely a kind of like we had to think about a new innovative idea, how he can be still involved. And then the winery came in the picture.
Yeah.
Then he liked that. He liked that. He's making wine since he was not in drinking age.
Right.
So there's a plan. God, somebody has a plan. Like if we wished for, but then it happened.
Maybe if we could just briefly go through each one of your children and what roles they've taken on and how they've flourished.
As we're talking, our kids, Amir started with the farming, so he takes care of all the. He studied about how to be a good stewardman of the land. So he studied a 4-year degree in UFV, BBA in agriculture. So a part of that, he went to Holland. My husband believes in like education opens your eyes, like it broadens your mind, and your thinking goes vast. So he grows all the berries. He's very passionate, on the social media about the strawberries. And then Hans is like it brings him something else. Like he loves it. So Gurleen joined the family. Like they were part of the business in the early age when we were building like the fruit stand stage. But then when she finished her degree, she went to work as a corporate world, and then after 5 years she realized that being in a downtown, why I'm here, I need to go back home and make the difference. And so she came back, and then she had struggled to fit in to the family because she had her own ways, but she brought good things to the business. She knows how to kind of like tackle. There's so many problems comes on a even hiring she knows what to look for to hire a person, right? So how to talk to other people, and anyhow. And then Gaurav came in between, kind of like he's our wine man, so he loves making wine.
That's got to be so rewarding to be able to see, like, try that wine and see them creating their own thing, contributing the strawberries and all that growth, and just see them reaching their full potential in the ways you might not have imagined when they were little kids.
Right. Now we know it's not the end. We are still in the beginning stage, and so it takes time. So we're getting bigger and bigger. So we're proud of our children. So they are on the upfront stage, and we're supporting them. So even though we are fully involved, fully invested, but they are taking the lead, and we support them.
Right.
So part of the recipe, I am grinding it or
Okay.
like making it puree.
Okay. Oh, it smells really good.
Thank you. So this is what I call one pot recipe.
Right.
So it's gonna give a few minutes, and then this curry base is ready.
Right.
Then I'll be finishing up with
Okay.
the cream. So we're going to try some wine
I'm
today.
very excited.
And then I also want you to try some hot sauce.
Okay, I can't wait.
Yes.
So how do you make pumpkin wine?
Wow, how do we
No-
make
no
pumpkin
pressure.
wine?
Yeah.
This is made from the pumpkins which are grown on the farm.
Wow,
Cora makes them, and yeah,
I'm
so
excited. Is this like from the seed or from the
No,
mushy part of the pumpkin?
Mushy.
Okay, got it.
Yeah, all the
Got it. I guess it wouldn't be as good with the seeds.
no seeds. We take the seeds out, but then
Right.
did I pour more for me?
You go ahead.
Okay, there you
Perfect.
go.
Thank you.
So it's more the flesh and the skin.
smells good,
Yeah,
yeah.
it is
Okay.
really good.
Oh, and you've got the glasses. Look at that. Okay,
Thank
cheers.
you. Cheers.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Mm.
That's amazing.
Yeah, it has lots of
That's amazing.
spices and more like fall spices.
Yeah.
And people can't have enough of it.
Yeah, this is so smooth.
So
What?
this one's
Does anybody
lots
else make
available.
pumpkin wine? Why have I never heard of this?
we are innovative family, so we do things nobody else does.
Yeah.
In a way, kids. Okay, so I'm adding milk. And stirring it. Sorry.
No worries.
And then finishing up with some cream to make it more heavier.
Right. So that's milk and cream.
Yes.
So they're
I-
different textures?
You can add only milk or only cream.
Okay.
If you want more creamy, I will say do the cream side.
Okay.
At Man Farms, we do more milk, less cream, because otherwise it's too much. It's very heavy.
Right.
This way it's more healthier.
Right.
So now my color has been changed as well. So
Right,
it's more
right.
smoother.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna let it cook, and then I will add some chicken.
Fantastic.
Yeah. So
And you have these available
They
so
are-
people can actually just
yeah.
buy the sauce itself?
you want to try the sauce itself? It's there, but then we
Right.
saute the chicken and then we add in there.
Okay,
So
wow.
that's how it is.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Awesome. The other question I had is you've gone through so many challenges, I imagine, over the years.
Mm-hmm.
There's been floods, there's been droughts, there's been all types of weather challenges. How do you as a family try and approach those challenges?
Yeah, I know in Fraser Valley there's floods came a few years back. We were blessed; it didn't get affected. We are on a higher spot.
Right.
But as a being a farmer, there are lots of challenges. Growing especially the strawberries so close to the ground. When the rain comes, it spoils so quickly.
Right.
And then. It has been happening year after year. You lose your crop like 30-40%. And then so again throughout the COVID, we had made a switch to grow the berries indoor.
Right.
So now we have enclosed greenhouses. That's
Yeah.
where we grow our strawberries.
Right.
And also this year we have introduced a standing strawberry U-pick.
Right.
So it's happening just across the street
Yeah.
and under the hoop houses. So people can stand and pick their strawberries.
Wow.
Yeah,
Fantastic.
so we kind of again, the whole world is changing. People are growing more scientifically rather than being a typical farm. We're still farmer, but then we're bringing in the more technology, how to be a better grower.
So do you guys you have a flood? Do you sit down with the family, with everybody, and kind of go how are we approaching this issue. I just find it fascinating because in a business you might have like a board meeting, but you're family mixed with business, so there's this intermingling that allows you guys to have it over the dinner table or something like that.
Yes, definitely. We do regularly family meetings, especially when there's any issues. We just get together and try to get the ideas from each other.
Right.
And we have a really strong team in our office as well.
Right.
So we involve them as well. So we tackle, everybody help each other. So any challenge we come through.
Yeah, that's amazing. Oh,
So this one is cooked, and do you want to try some?
absolutely.
It's going to be hot. Temperature hot. I don't know if the spice is hot, but temperature hot.
That's really good. Not too spicy. That's very good.
Yeah, it is
Yeah,
good.
yeah.
Uh-huh. That's awesome.
And then how do you put it into a pie?
How do we put it in a pot?
Like a pie. Like this sometimes ends up being in a pie, right?
Oh, we do savory pies, butter chicken pot pies.
Yeah, yeah.
So mostly it's a sauce and chicken.
Right.
And then we put in with some rice to give it a body
Yeah, yeah.
into the small pot pies.
Yeah.
And then we bake them.
That's fantastic. And then people can take those, buy them frozen, and then go cook them from home.
We do lots of savory pies. They are 5 inches, and then they could make a easy dinner or lunch. Yeah.
Yeah, one of my favorite things about this space is it isn't just about the food. It isn't just about the amazing views. It's like you're giving people a memorable experience. Like when they come out with their family, they're going to remember that in 10 years, 20 years. They're going to have that story. How does that make you feel that you're giving people more than just food or just one item? You're giving them that memory.
It feels great. That's always our kind of like almost like a motto, or that's our dream, to have a facility where people come and build their memories with their families and remember us in their memories.
Yeah.
That's always kind of like a take home memories.
Yeah.
That's our dream is.
I love that because there's so much to trying a new drink or trying a new food, but it's all of that coming together with your family and making those memories that I think is so valuable.
Thank you.
Coming out of the COVID pandemic, like that's what everybody's looking for, and that's what you're providing people.
Great. Yeah. No, we're blessed. Everything is coming together. There's lots more to achieve.
Yeah.
So we're working on different ideas. We're a very innovative family, and we're all leaders. That's sometimes it's a good and bad. So not in a bad sense, but that could be a challenge to whose idea is better and not better. So it's a family issues. Yes.
Is there one idea that's come out of this over the years that you've been like, I just could have never seen that coming, that really just stands out to you?
Like if I standing here and thinking about doing the haunt nights, serving thousands of people every night kind of thing. Yeah. I never dreamed about it. I never dreamed about it. But I guess people like it.
People love it, yeah.
People love it to come out seasonally and enjoying themselves. And when people enjoy on our property and we're giving, we feel good. We are doing something right.
Yeah, because then people can come, they can experience that, they can grab food, they can relax, they can have a drink. Like it's the whole experience that's all come together. But it's so cool that each family member kind of helped bring it to this one-stop shop for an experience.
Thank you. Yeah, no, it is. It's just meant to be, I guess. Everybody has, Gurleen has her own passions, and then Ami does the farming. He loves what he does, and then Gore does the wine. So everything, they all work together.
Yeah.
We're proud parents. Yes.
Yeah. The biggest takeaway from me from your story is that you really encourage people to find their own path and to like really push forward and like overcome that adversity and figure out how to share your gift with the world. What advice do you have for people who are like, I want to go start this, I want to start a fruit stand, I want to start farming, or I want to do something with my life, but I'm a little bit nervous to take that big step?
I think dreaming is a good idea, but then action is more important.
Yeah.
So my husband and I would say my children, everybody is proactive about if they want to achieve, you have to work. They understand. So anybody starting a new thing, you need to dream about it, and you need to make you need to work on it.
Yeah.
And then you need to work hard on it.
Yeah.
Right? It's not just, oh yeah, I'm working on it. Just
Yeah.
some people, I know that even our community, like people say, oh yeah, but then 10 years they never never start.
Yeah.
Starting is always tough.
Agreed.
Yeah.
Okay, brilliant.
Anything is doable.
Yeah. Yeah.
Great.
Amazing. You ready to try some spicy stuff?
So we have 3 hot sauces. There's a habanero, there's a green, and the red. These are the bases. Cayenne peppers.
Okay.
This is habanero peppers,
What-
which are grown on the farm.
Wow.
And then, but then they are same recipe but different flavors because the maturity of the green versus red, and this is different peppers.
Right.
So we'll start with the green one.
Okay.
So let's see how hot you can taste.
How well can I handle this?
Yes. Is it too much?
No, we're good.
Do you need a glass of water or wine?
No, I'm good. We'll keep going. That one is very spicy.
Spicy.
You get it right at the back of the throat.
Okay, I'll give you a little smaller test.
Okay. Is this one spicier?
Let's see. You
Okay.
tell me.
Okay.
People ask me, but we need to hear from other people too.
That one's lighter.
Okay.
Did I handle that one better? I'm not crying.
You're not crying. Okay, that's good.
Okay, do a big one on this one. Is this one the hottest one? Do you
Well,
think?
this is
don't
a
know?
habanero pepper.
Okay.
According to Google, it's more hotter, but
Okay.
let's see.
We conquered it.
What do you think? Which one is?
Oh, that one's coming now.
Okay. So in my hand is a mirch achar. It's a pickle made with the peppers, cayenne peppers again. But it's a different recipe. They're cut, but with they're infused with the spices. So I don't know how much I should give you. I'm just thinking. How about this?
Go a little bit bigger. Is it hot? Is it spicy?
No.
No.
It's
not
a different
as bad.
spicy.
Okay.
It's infused with spices. It's meant to be eaten with the curries or with the rice or roti.
Oh, that's really good. Yeah, it's a different type of spicy.
Different.
It's like the top of my mouth. Well, this has been an experience.
Okay. It is
That's
more
really good.
good spices.
Yeah.
All the spices.
It has flavor.
It has
It's
lots
not
of
just
flavor.
hot.
All the flavors has their own health benefits.
Okay.
So yeah. So you're eating good thing.
I'm glad. Hopefully, I'm healthier as a consequence
You
of
put
this.
in the sink. Yeah. Yeah, that's great.
Amazing. Well, thank you so much for being willing to do this. One more
Thank you.
cheers.
One more cheer. Thank you.
Thank you for sharing this experience
Yeah.
and for taking the time. This has been an honor to learn, and I'll definitely be picking up these products.
You're welcome. Thank you. Thank you very much for coming.
And thank you for watching Taste of Abby.